Silento was just hit with 30 years for unaliving his own cousin. But how did he get here? Ricky Hawk, better known by his stage name, Silento, would go super viral with his mega hit, Watch Me, that sits at almost 2 billion views to this day. This recording came out in early 2015, and it almost instantly became a hit. Just at 17, he created this song and released it and changed his life overnight. This was in the early stages of viral dances, so it would really take over all social medias, including some of the big ones at the time, like Musical.ly and Vine, which were more centered around dancing videos. So this would contribute heavily to the virality of the song. But it seemed like this song turned into a curse for him, as he could not follow this up. Just like a lot of artists that magically found their hit, this was literally his first song, and it was almost impossible to drop another song to the caliber of this one. But at this time, he would capitalize as much as he could by doing shows and appearances, making more money than he had ever seen in his life, and he started taking care of the people around him, including his family. But one thing at this time became clear, as Silento would open up about his early life and his traumas that he had went through and faced. He had got really honest with his fans, opening up in an interview about allegedly being bored with a kitchen sink of drugs within his system, seeing drug dealing early in his life, and violence. So it became interesting that a smiley kid that would dance a lot had a crazy history like this. It seemed like it was more something he did to kind of cope with what his trauma is. He also revealed during this interview that he had been suffering with mental health problems, including depression, for years, and that he had been basically put on ADHD medicine without the clear diagnosis. With a combination of people trying to mess with your money in the industry and not knowing who to trust, and the eventual decline of his career, I feel like all these things contributed to the unraveling of Silento's mental health, and it became pretty clear in 2020. As a set of arrests would hit the media, one of the first ones be relating to him barging into a random home he had believed his girlfriend to be residing inside of. He had bashed through the door wielding a hatchet. Fortunately, nobody was killed in this incident, as one of the occupants did have a gun, and it was basically a full family home, so they would wrestle Silento to the ground and disarm him before he could do damage to anybody. His friends would follow him in and basically kind of break this situation up, getting him off the scene before the police even showed up. He would eventually be arrested for assault with a deadly weapon and other charges, but he would swiftly be released after paying bail. He would later that year be pulled over in Georgia, driving over 140 miles per hour in his white BMW, leaving a club appearance. He also had family members in the car with him at this time. He was super combative during this interaction. It really showed his enormous ego. He would later be arrested for reckless driving and would later bail out. But in the beginning of 2021, something very tragic would happen. January 21st, DeKalb County police officers would find a 34-year-old Frederick Rook passed away from several gunshots. They would shut down the scene and find over 8 shell casings. They didn't have a suspect just at this time yet, but witnesses did relay information that a white BMW was seen speeding away from the scene at a high rate of speed after the shots were heard. They didn't have too much to go off at the time, so it took time to go through cameras and street surveillance, and they would basically find a white BMW SUV that belonged to Silento that just so happened to be the blood cousin of the victim. After speaking with the brother of the victim, he would reveal some information to the detective that Silento had picked up his cousin earlier that night before he was found dead earlier that morning. So they would go pick up Silento on a warrant to ask some questions. They would later find him in possession of the same gun that had killed his cousin. He would be taken into custody and almost instantly confess to his crimes. He would never actually make it to trial, as he would plead out with the condition of having mental health problems, and it isn't clear to this day why this situation even actually took place. So yeah, This is definitely a wild situation. It touches on a lot of things that I think are super important nowadays. With how fame affects people, how fame is different nowadays, how you can blow up one day and literally be gone within a few months or even like a couple of years. Because you see a video at 2 billion views. Like, how many rappers can you even say hit 100 million, let alone billion? And I think that very much contributed to his mental health problems. I feel like these things were very predestined, but also there's a lot of people that suffer with issues, and stuff like this doesn't happen in their life. So no way am I going to say that his mental health issues are warranted for why this took place, because at the end of the day, a man lost his life. Somebody's son, somebody's brother, possibly somebody's father. And it's just a sad situation. And to see he got 30 years, it's like, it's no good. Like, I know the family's in definitely ruins. And they probably feel like if he never dropped that music, maybe we could have avoided this type of situation. And you never know. With the victim not being here no more, we'll never know his story. We'll never know what happened that day. Were they, arguing? Was it over past disagreements, or was it just something spur of the moment? Which it kind of seems that way, especially with how sporadic he was towards the end of his life, not really thinking his actions through. But his definitely a crash out moment. It's just something that I feel like this generation can learn from, and kind of just like, don't follow the directions of Silento or any of these big crash outs. Just, take your mental health real serious. If you can get help, try to find that. Find good help. Find stuff that, like, works for you and makes you feel better. Because there is such thing as bad help. But yeah, just let me know what y'all think about this whole crazy situation. Definitely let me know what y'all think in the comments. Gonna be definitely checking that out and putting my thoughts with y'all thoughts. But yeah, this is a wild one. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I heard this story probably 3 or 4 years ago when it kind of hit the media. Like the rest of y'all seen it. But man, after doing like the full deep dive and stuff, it just like, you could see just the gradual downturn of his mental health and how fast it kind of went down the gutter. So it's a bad one. It's a sad situation for everybody involved. Definitely prayers to the family. It's sad to see a situation like this play out. No matter what happens before or after, definitely prayers to them. Let me know what y'all want to see in the future. Do y'all want to see more content like this? Definitely gonna have some more personal vlog stuff. Make sure y'all go check that stuff out. It's, if y'all like it, y'all like it. If y'all don't, y'all don't. But I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Y'all be smooth.